in addition to the threat posed by pretenders backed by wealthy Yorkist exiles like the De La Pole family. Now, I know I didn't actually even mention that on my plan, but of course, as you get in the flow and when you're writing, quite often things that come to you that didn't initially, and don't not include them just because they didn't come into your head at the very start of the planning process. So long as they're relevant and you back them, include them. So that's the side of supporting Guy's argument. Now, what I'd like you to do is have a go at writing a short paragraph challenging the how convincing John Guy is in what he has to say. So pause it, have a go at writing the challenge, and then we'll come back together, unpause, and you can compare with what I've written. Okay, so you can see how the contrasting argument has been put forward. Again, those same points that we've planned out. I'm not going to read it aloud to you. You can pause it and read it yourself. And once you've done that, come back and we'll see what we need to do to finish off our first extract analysis. So Rich goes on to say that end on a very brief overall judgment on how convincing. Now, it has to be very brief, and it should be very brief because, of course, at the top, you've already made a point that the argument is a convincing one, given that Henry Tudor usurped the throne. So, pulling it back in what is essentially a concluding sentence, more than anything, is to just put it together. So, overall, despite the counterpoints, Guy is convincing to assert that security of the throne was the primary motivation behind the foreign policy decisions of King Henry VII. Okay, now as I said, that is something which will only get easier the more you have a go at these type of questions. So my biggest advice is to practice on extracts, practice the planning. You don't even have to necessarily write out the extract, although you should do that quite often as far as how you would finish it off with a full written piece. But the more practice you have on assembling the extracts in that manner, the more comfortable and the more confident you'll be when you sit down in the exam room. Any questions, please get in touch. Get in touch on Twitter. Otherwise, good luck.